Hello and welcome to the Crestdale Strings program. My name is Jonathan Todd and I am the director here of this amazing program at Crestdale Middle School. We have a great set of strings classes here and I'm so happy to be able to share it with all of these amazing student musicians. So let's get started so I can tell you more about the classes and just what I do here at Crestdale Middle School. The students in the 6th grade orchestra class are part of the beginning orchestra program. These students start at the very beginning with how to care for an instrument, how to hold an instrument and bow, how to read music and rhythm, as well as the history of the instrument and the music that we're working on. While the class is mostly focused on the technique of playing an instrument, we will have instruction on style, genre, various composers throughout history, and the basics of composition, and how to critically evaluate and respond to musical performances using correct terminology. We're currently finishing up the beginnings of instrument position and bow hold, and are now moving on into how to utilize the left hand and allow us to perform music. Once we begin into the Sound Innovations 1 method book, we will also begin our string karate method that will allow students to move a little more of their own pace through the class. We'll have instruction each day on the topic for that class period, but students will have the opportunity to move to the next aspect of their own personal learning as they finish each belt level. More information can be found on our website, crestdalestrings.com, and will be fully explained to the students once we begin the string karate system. I look forward to getting to know each one of these beginning musicians and helping them throughout their time in the orchestra class. The students in the 7th grade are part of the intermediate orchestra program. These students have at least 1 year of experience in the class or private lessons and are working on furthering their understanding of music and performance. We're currently finishing up the review section of our year where we review over the skills we learned in 6th grade. Our next steps include learning new and interesting rhythms, new notes on our instrument, new scales and arpeggios, as well as furthering our understanding of critical response to performances. As we continue through the year, we will continue to push the boundaries of our own performance and will have the opportunity for more one-on-one time to receive personal feedback. These students will continue to grow as young musicians, and by the end of the school year should be prepared to audition for our various honors level programs across the state, as well as for Northwest School of the Arts. These students are also highly recommended to join other groups in the area, such as the Union Symphony Youth Orchestra, the Youth Orchestra of Charlotte, or the Charlotte Symphony Youth Orchestra. I look forward to working with each and every one of them and helping them realize their musical dreams. The students in the 8th grade are part of the Advanced Orchestra program. The students in this program have had at least 2 years of experience in the class or through private lessons. These students will be working towards the learning of advanced techniques and concepts, such as shifting on their instrument as well as vibrato. These elements will allow them to add more expression to their own playing and to allow them to sound more like developed musicians. We will also work towards furthering our understanding of scales, arpeggios, intonation, and the development of the dexterity of both our right and left hands. We will learn more bowing styles and more advanced techniques to allow us to have a more focused, mature sound as we perform. These students are expected to audition for our honors ensembles across the city and state, as well as to consider auditioning for placement at Northwest School of the Arts. These students are also highly recommended to join other groups in the area, such as the Union Symphony Youth Orchestra, the Youth Orchestra of Charlotte, or the Charlotte Symphony Youth Orchestra. I look forward to helping these students mature into young musicians ready to take on the challenges of high school. Students in the Beginning Acoustic Guitar Part 1 program come from all 3 grade levels and have varied musical backgrounds. Some students have no musical experience, while others might be coming to us in 8th grade after being in band or orchestra for multiple years. We start at the beginning of the class with how to care for an acoustic guitar, how to hold it, where to place each of the hands, as well as other beginning techniques. We quickly start with a set of 3 different chords that challenge the students to move their hands and fingers quickly enough to the various positions to be able to perform music. The music that we start with might be simple folk songs, but will help the students to feel successful at their studies and allow them to continue with the concepts into pieces that they wish to play. As we continue throughout the semester, we will learn new chords and progressions that will open up new songs and genres for the students to play. I encourage the students to find songs that they want to play with the chords that we are working on, so that they find enjoyment in their own playing as we go throughout the semester. The second level of beginning acoustic guitar has students coming from both the 7th and 8th grades. These students have either had at least one semester of acoustic guitar class or have shown through their own studies or private lessons that they have the skills necessary to play with the class. This class will further their education on the guitar and will teach them the skills of reading music so that they will be able to perform both tablature as well as standard notation. These students will perform pieces from multiple styles and will also learn fingerpicking as well as the utilization of a guitar pick in various ways. We'll also have lessons on how to compose their own pieces and how to deconstruct various songs into their requisite parts. I hope that this further understanding of music and of their instrument will allow them to continue their playing and learning on their own. Synchronous versus asynchronous time probably looks very similar to the core classes, but will be focused more on practice and performance. During synchronous time, we will focus on new methods of playing and furthering our musical studies on our instruments. There will be multiple demonstrations from myself as well as other musicians throughout the year, which will have the students playing with us or a track to help understand the ideas. During the asynchronous time, students will be expected to work through their method book exercises, slideshows posted on Canvas, and other types of music provided. The class is a performance class, and students will be expected to practice and perform throughout the class period. The best way that you can help your student at home is to encourage them to practice and to set a daily practice habit. Make sure that you are setting a safe and nurturing environment for students to play their instruments. Many of the students in the strings program have never played before, and the first sounds that they make might not sound the best. These sounds are what we work with and develop into what sounds correct and appropriate. If a student is afraid of making noise, then they will never be able to create a beautiful sound. Make sure that they have the space to practice, and that siblings are also not discouraging practice through various comments. Please don't tease a student about their playing, or draw attention to their skills before they are ready to play. When speaking about their playing, talk about the good things or how they are developing as a musician. Talk to them about how they are growing and progressing, and how it's okay to not be perfect. That's part of being a student. Ask them if they have any questions for myself, and don't forget that I offer tutoring times every Tuesday and Thursday before school starts. I start tutoring at about 7:30 a.m. and run up all the way until school begins at 9. If they can't join the Zoom tutoring, which is the same link as their normal classes, then let me know and we can find another time to meet. Each one of our string classes will have a Canvas course that is set up in the same basic way. Every day, students will log into Canvas and go to their requisite class and click the Enter Here button. On this next page, they will have access to each week that the class has been going on. The first week that is listed is the one that is the most current. So students who happen to be absent can always go back and see what assignments and items that they've missed. The Live Lessons button will take them to the Zoom class as well as the tutoring time if they need help in tutoring. When they click that current week, it will take them in, and every week will have the dates listed as well, and each day underneath it. Assignments will be listed in sequential order that they need to complete throughout the class period. Students will also have access to the grades area that will show them items that they may be missing, items that they have received a grade for, as well as, through the special comments, feedback on their submissions. Please make sure that the students are going into their grades to check that they've received a grade for their submissions, that they've submitted everything, and that they're checking this feedback so that they can grow as a musician. All items will be submitted through Canvas within the module, such as through Flipgrid, which students will record their response and their playing test, or through a Google assignment that they will be able to access. Please make sure, again, that students are going back to their grades and making sure of everything that might be missing and the feedback that is received. Our grades are broken up into the standard formal and informal percentages of 65% and 35% respectively. Grades in the formal category will consist of playing tests focusing on the mastery of skills, in-person and virtual performances, research projects and papers, and other larger writing assignments. Informal assignments will consist of playing check-in recordings from each class, weekly reflective practice logs, worksheets focusing on rhythms, note reading, vocabulary, etc., as well as some discussion posts and other classwork items. All assignments will be recorded within Canvas and its processes such as Google Docs and Slides, Flipgrid, etc. If there's ever an issue with recording or submitting an assignment, please let me know so I can help. Our syllabus and course requirements are on our Canvas course, as well as CrestelStrings.com. Every student needs to make sure that they have an instrument in good condition and the required method books. Beginning Orchestra requires the Sound Innovations for String Orchestra, Book 1. Intermediate Orchestra requires the Sound Innovations for String Orchestra, Book 2, which is red. The Advanced Orchestra requires the Habits of a Successful Middle-Level String Musician. This is a blue book. It looks like this. Each of these books also has different types for each instrument, so please make sure to purchase the correct instrument version, such as violin, viola, cello, or bass. The beginning guitar classes will be working out of the hands-on training first-year guitar book, which looks like this. Links to purchase all of these books, as well as links to the various vendors in the Charlotte area and online vendors, can be found on our website, CrestelStrings.com. So in conclusion, I'm looking forward to really working with all of you to help our student musicians grow. If you have any questions, please fill out the Google form on our website, CrestelStrings.com, or you can go to bit.ly/Mr. Todd Questions to submit your queries. Thank you for your time, and I hope that you have an amazing school year.